everyone, and welcome to ArcaKnights, a Power Rangers actual play series here on the Initiative Order. I am your Grid Master, Will, or ArcLight Court, and joining with me today are my 5 Rangers. I'm so happy to have them back together again. So we'll go around, have everybody introduce themselves, what Ranger they're playing, and then we'll jump right into the Megazord battle we left off on last episode. So let's start with Alec.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alec the Bard, and I'm playing Peter, the Red Ranger.
Javante.
Hi, howdy, y'all. My name is Javante, resident TTRPG Goblin. I play Dior, the Black Ranger.
Yeah, Krimsin.
Hey, y'all. I'm Krimsin Galaxy. That's Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin, and I'm playing Gina, the yellow. I'm playing Gina, the Yellow Ranger.
Nice, Brandon.
Hello everybody, it is I, Brandon O'Brien. I'm a poet, writer, and game designer from Trinidad and Tobago, and tonight I will be playing Marcia Ambrose, the pink ArcaKnight Ranger.
Our wonderful tech ranger, Pluto.
Hey everyone, I'm Pluto, and I will be playing Frankie Oliver, the green ArcaKnight Ranger.
And I am Will, your grid master or game master for tonight's game. Let's go ahead and dive right into our intro and get into tonight's episode. And as we return to the beginnings of a multi-Megazord battle against the Red Necronite, now in its monstrous Rev monster form.
Thanks, Chris. I know you're not here, but thanks.
We have the first of the Megazords formed, the Jabberwock Megazord, formed from the Phantom Cheshire Zord, and the Dragon Zord summoned by Frankie at the end of our last episode. Where we ended, Peter had used the Red Dragon ArcaKnight Zord to use its claws to grab into the shoulders and attempt to fly up. The Cerberus Megazord with the Jiraiya Zord sitting on top of the center head had just used the Hellfire cannons and the Poison Dart cannons against the giant form. The Lightning Kitsune Zord had attempted the Forbidden Flash, and though it didn't succeed on it initially, it was able to position itself to protect the other Zords from any oncoming attacks, as our pink ArcaKnight Ranger had summoned the Almirage Allegory Zord for the first time, and was told by the Fey spirit of Corellian within it, "I'll follow your lead this once." So before we move into whether the separate Zords are combining or not, Frankie, you do have one move you wanted to attempt before getting into the cockpit of the Jabberwock Megazord.
I think this sword I should probably... Well, it is the Dragon Zord. Should I be in the cockpit? Because I can drive it with the flute, right?
Well, normally if it was just the Dragon Zord by itself, you would have been able to just drive it with the flute and stay outside of it. Because it has combined with the Cheshire ArcaKnight Phantom Zord, you'll now have to move into the cockpit. But
Okay.
you did want to try something beforehand, and what was that?
If I have to move inside of it first,
This will be right before you move into the cockpit.
okay. I think the only other thing, because I know they're gonna want to combine, would I be able to send Rowan to them while I go in?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Because you are using the large portion of your green Arcanite energy to maintain the summoning and bringing forward of the green dragon Zord.
Okay. Then yeah, I think I'm just gonna go into the cockpit then.
Just head right into the cockpit.
Yeah, I'll head right into the
Okay.
cockpit.
Before you head in, Schrodinger turns and looks at you, and he hands you a key.
Okay.
You could figure out exactly what you need to do with this. It'll probably shut all of that stuff off that's going on with the big guy here. But this is your fight. I'm not. You can borrow Chauffon for the moment. I'm gonna head back to the power chamber, and before the sentence is done, teleports away.
Fucking. Okay. Do I know what this is? Does it look familiar?
This is one of the turbo morpher keys.
It's my uncle's key, isn't it? Because it's the red
Yep.
one.
Yep.
God damn it. I just tuck it in whatever I have to tuck anything into my suit, and I will go into the cockpit, I guess.
Alrighty. For my other 4 rangers, you are alerted by Valsa via the grid communicators within your helmets and Zords that the Zords that are on the field currently do have the capability of becoming a Megazord as well, without needing Rowan there.
Oh, all right. Do I get the notification like while I'm in the Dragon Zord?
Yep, you all received the same notification, the message I had sent all of you earlier this week, or end of last week.
Yep.
Of the allegory Megazord form.
All right. I like over the radio. You guys ready to try something new?
Not like we have any choice. Everything here has been weird already.
Whatever we do, we have to save Bone.
All right. What's the call out for this one, Arc?
This is just the calling for the allegory Megazord.
All right. It's time. Allegory Megazord. And I'll pull the thing, whatever it is.
As you call for the allegory Megazord, the spell books in front of you while in the Zord form, all of the pages flip and turn over, showing this new configuration of the Zords altogether. As this call is put out, Peter, the red dragon ArcaKnight Zord, takes the form of the chest itself, the full chest portion, the dragon head sitting and resting between the shoulders, the wings kind of rolling into each other and then pulling along the sides. The next Zord to join is the Cerberus Megazord that will then form the legs and the waist portion of it. The 4 legs folding in onto each other, becoming to the 3 hounded heads, becoming like a belt portion of the Zord itself. The Jiraiya Frog Zord leaps off of the center head and then settles on top of the dragon head, like beginning to merge with it itself. The yellow Kitsune Zord leaps up, creating the left arm, the tails hanging down, becoming the hand with the bladed fingers and edge to it, as the Almirage becomes the right arm of the Zord, becoming this almost drill-like hand on the end of it, with the white plating with some of the silver and pink accents to it. as the Jiraiya Zord forms over the top of the dragon's head. You can see the two eyes roll down to the side of the neck, making this like almost chained or like a hard steel necklace with two barrels sticking out of the front as the dragon's mouth opens up wide and shows the warrior face of the allegory Megazord. And
Right.
now all should have the stats for the allegory Megazord for those of
Yeah.
you commanding that one. And Frankie, you have the stats and everything for the Jabberwock Megazord, correct?
Right
Alrighty.
here.
So we'll have everybody roll for initiative. And before giving me your numbers, I'm going to describe another scene that is taking place elsewhere.
Oh.
Oh,
As the two Zords stand opposites of the Rev monstrous form of the Red Necronite, we see Schrodinger appear within the power chamber. As he appears within that space, Valsa is keeping energy moving and flowing towards the blue ArcaKnight Zord, maintaining its presence and appearance on the battlefield for the other ArcaKnight Rangers. As Schrodinger approaches Valsa, without her realizing, and places a bracelet on her wrist.
I'm gonna kill him.
God, even when he's not
Do you
fucking
want
here.
another Peter War arc? Do you want another one?
I'm gonna kill him.
God.
Chris!
She is unaware of this
Oh my God, everyone
bracelet
message
being
Hama.
placed on her. She is
Messaging him.
unaware of any of it. As he then moves into the Arcanium Plexus and continues looking through all of the books and items within the Arcanium Plexus as this all occurs.
I know I just had a redemption arc, but gang, I think I might go back. Because we gotta take care of this dude. I'm gonna I need that shatter the grid ability back. I need to take care of this guy.
He keeps fucking with our crushes. Why? Why
Yeah.
does he keep fucking with our crushes?
So
just
initiative
sent him a message.
25 to 20. Who do we
I
got?
sent him a message. I got a 23, and it was a crit on the D20.
Nice.
Anybody higher than 23?
Negative.
Negative. Next 20 to 15.
19.
19 for Peter. Anyone else? Nope. 15 to 10.
14.
I was like, gang.
14
please.
for Dior. Nothing for Marcia or Gina.
What the fuck?
10 to 5.
6.
Also 6.
So 6 for Marcia and Gina. Now let
Gang.
us
We
see.
ain't looking too hot, gang.
Y'all are
I mean-
looking fine.
I'm gonna do the thing.
I mean, I'm ready to go.
And then the Rev Necro Knight is last with a 2 on initiative.
Good.
Alrighty. So Frankie, currently in command of the Jabberwock Megazord. What would you like to do?
So if I remember rightly, he should just be like right in front of me, right?
Yes, he is like damn near directly in front of you.
I'm just gonna make a grid attack. I'm just gonna have just like test out the mechanics. Let's see how this works, and I'll just go with a straight uppercut to its face.
Alrighty.
Nice.
Give me that D8 skill roll for the Dragon Grid Strike.
Two. Going to be a 21.
A 21 misses.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Can I use a story point to reroll the skill die?
Was it a 1?
It was not a 1. It was a 3, but I could roll higher if I did re-roll it.
You can re-roll it and treat it as if it is specialized. So you roll D8, D6, D4, D2 if you would like.
Okay, I can do that. It might
Okay.
be able to roll higher. A 3 on that. Roll a 6. So that's 24 to hit.
24 against toughness still does not hit.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Fine. It's fine. That can't get any better if I continue down that. So yeah, that's gonna miss. Okay.
Alrighty. So ending the Jabberwock's turn, we move to the Allegory Megazord and Peter's command for it.
So seeing him like, so did he like just whiff, or did it like make a contact and nothing happened, or?
The Jabberwock Zord made contact and it did nothing.
Okay, we need something a little bit more hefty then, gang. And I'm gonna like look over the book, and I'm going to wave my hands and activate the Spell Strike Blast.
Okay. So going all in on this one. All right.
Sorry about your boyfriend.
D8 skill for the Spell Strike Blast, and this ignores armor.
Yeah.
You guys just hear over the comms. I
nat
softened them
20
up
on
for
the-
you.
Nat 20 on the die plus 3, so 23 total.
23 total does hit.
Let's go.
So you do deal in total, that would be 12 damage for the crit on the D20. So you deal 12 damage to them. Okay. With the Spell Strike Blast, raising the Allegory Spear arm and the Kitsune bladed hand, forming it against the chest. You can see this gathering of all of the ArcaKnight spectrum colors coalescing into this spell circle as the different motifs of each animal appears around the circle before simultaneous streams of energy connect into the Rev Necronite monster 4.
Bam.
I do need you to make a might skill test.
A might skill test, you say?
Yes, using the Allegory Megazords.
The
Might.
Allegory Megazord's might is a D6.
A
Got it.
D6.
Got it. All right.
You need to beat a 10.
Well, I rolled a base 11 before I even add anything together.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
You watch as as the Spell Strike Blast connects to the Rev Necronite monster form, you can see these pillars of fire go to jet back towards the Allegory Megazord as the Cerberus legs are able to kick back and away, avoiding these pillars that are coming back at you.
Woo! Woo! Well, I think we got him. Good.
And that is the once per scene use of the Spell Strike Blast.
Oh, that was once per scene.
Yep.
Damn, my bad. Well, I did 12 damage.
Up next, Dior.
I'm just over here, like, looking at the controls, seeing what happened. Just, oh, all right. Well, if that softened him up a bit, then let's try this. And I'm going to use Arcane Blast.
Alrighty, give me that D8 skill ranged attack.
$23.
23 does not hit.
Oh my god.
Did I only hit because I crit?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh
sweet
no.
home Alabama.
So yeah, just
Well, no, technically you hit with the Spell Strike Blast because it ignores armor. So that removed a number from their toughness in order for you to hit.
it's just a moment where that happens and then just oh, that's not good.
You do command the legs, so is there anything you would like to do?
All right, up close and personal it is, and I'm going to try to get us closer.
Alrighty, so you move the Allegory Megazord in closer towards the Rev Necronite monster form.
Can I hold on? I need to see how a thing works. Because I don't think. I'm gonna use a free action.
Okay.
All right. He can probably hear me through this. Hey, Yellow. Try to make sure that you can hit them really hard. I know you can do that. And I'm going to give you a heart of the team.
So you get an upshift on one of your next rolls. Actually, you can't give that to Yellow
no.
right now because they still have their upshift from last episode
Oh.
that they never used.
Do they had Pink doesn't?
Pink does not. Yellow
I
does.
will swap my wording. Pink, hit them really, really hard. I know you can do that.
I had completely forgotten about that. Thank you.
Alrighty. It is now Marcia and Gina's turn. Who would like to go first?
I'm willing to concede, but since I was just given an upshift, I might as well attack.
Go for it. Which attack are you going to use?
How close are we now?
You're within, we'll say about 10 to 15 feet of it because Dior was very, very adamant on getting within melee range of the monster.
Yeah, I think I'll do Allegory Strike then.
Alrighty. Make that D8 skill check.
Natural 2025.
Let's go.
Oh.
Hits for 4 points of damage. Now, Marcia, I would like you to make a contested might roll for me. Is a D6 skill?
Okay.
This isn't gonna be good.
You need to beat a 21.
D6 skill? Right. $15.
The Allegory Megazord takes 1 point of fire damage to the portion that you control as one of those pillars of fire move off of its body and collide into the Almirage arm that you are commanding.
Damn, that's rude.
I say sorry to Corellian.
No response.
Rude.
Gina.
Yeah. So we're up close. God, I
Punch
want to
your
do something
boyfriend.
stupid, but I'm just going to attack instead.
Punch your boyfriend. Do it.
All right. I throw out the left arm, the tails separate, and start spinning around really fast, creating an almost garbage disposal like device. And I'm just going to reach into that chest.
Alrighty, make that Allegory Strike. D8 skill check.
D8 and then an upshift to the D10.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Wicked smart. Went to Harvard.
$21.
21 does not hit.
I rolled a 3 on the D10.
So the like blendered hand goes reaching forward and you can hear the blades are like cutting and like scratching against the vehicle form, but it's like barely leaving scrapes, barely pulling some of this like magical paint off of this, monstrous form in front of you.
You're gonna need a new paint job.
The
I'm proud of you.
Rev Necronite monster roars out. And it's going to use its ability Zord Bane. It gives itself an upshift on its attack skills and adds 1 point of damage for its successful hits. The pipes that make up the exhaust portions of it that come around to form like these gnarled ribs, like bend forward towards the allegory Megazord, and you can see these like wells of fire start to fill in the end of it, and it's going to fire shots. The first one will be at the Dragon Zord.
Rude.
The second will be at the Cerberus Zord.
Rude.
And the last will be at the Almirage Zord.
Hold on, there's something
Rude.
wrong with your boobs.
What?
I hate this. I hate this a lot. Please go away.
That is a 19 to the toughness of the Allegory Megazord.
Does that hit?
No, we beat it by 1.
Let's go.
So these balls of flame just go to connect, and as they do, you can see the Almirage spear kind of like pull that fire in. The Cerberus mouths open and like bite it, swallowing it whole, as the draconic chest plate of the Allegory Megazord just absorbs that flame, and you can see the red energy just like kind of building in the center of it.
You think you can use fire on me? Come on, man.
You guys will now have an upshift on the attack skills of those 3 Zords on
Let's
your
go.
next attacks.
Let's go, gang.
And
Gang
then
Frankie, do something.
is going to turn towards Frankie
Frankie.
Yeah, but
and make an attack at the Jabberwock Zord.
why? I didn't do anything. I didn't do
You
any
tried
damage.
to punch him in the face.
No, I was just giving him a high five. What do you mean?
Really hard high five to the chin.
That is a 17 to evasion of the
Ooh,
Jabberwock Zord.
evasion that does hit.
That does hit. Okay.
And
So that is
evasion
going to
like
be
16.
2 fire damage. You can choose which Zord is going to take that damage currently.
Okay. Yeah, because we have a 5 health bar too. So is it just like each limb and then the body? Okay.
Yeah. So all of the limbs belong to the Cheshire Zord. The main body itself is the Dragon Zord.
And you said how much fire?
2 points.
Okay. We're gonna take it to the chest, I think.
Okay. Alrighty. And that will end the Rev Necronite's turn. Frankie.
Okay. See, this is getting serious. I'm gonna call for the Bandersnatch blade.
Yes. The
I love-
Bandersnatch blade forms as the Dragon Zord's tail moves in front of it, laying flat as all of the teeth from the Cheshire Zord move up the sides of it, creating almost like this chainsaw blade to be used. Go ahead and make that D8
I
skill
rolled.
attack.
17 on the D20, but a crit on the skill die for a 25.
So 25.
Yes.
Does not hit their toughness,
Even with the crit on the skill die.
even with the crit on the skill die. The toughness of this monster is 27.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
sweet
I would have to roll a
baby Jesus.
19 to hit this thing. Okay.
So you do still have the Bandersnatch blade summoned and will be able to use it until the end of the next round.
Okay.
And then it will be recalled back.
Gotcha. Fuck, I need the fucking crit.
Peter,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Use the big fuck you cannon last time. So, all right. So this dude is he's got fiery cannons on the front of him. He's got really thick armor, right? Hey, Gina. Do you think
Yes.
like your boyfriend's still in there?
I don't know where else he would have went. Also, he's not my boyfriend. We're just friends.
Right. You remember that thing we did to that camera monster?
I do, but didn't we take the tome out of Turtle Lake?
No, not dropping him in the lake. The way we got him to the lake, where we drained his power.
That was pre-transformation. We can give it a shot, but I don't know
I
if
was
we're
like-
gonna be
I was
able to
like-
pull that off.
If the four of us work together, maybe we could at least weaken him and open him for Frankie. Because right now, even Frankie's having a hard time hitting him, and I don't think we're gonna have much luck. What do you guys think?
It's worth a shot, I guess.
I'll throw in a suggestion here.
Yeah,
You may not like this suggestion.
sure.
We could hold it down.
That's what I was thinking, actually.
That works too. Do we want to try to drain it, or do we want to try to hold it? Frankie, what do you need?
Give me an opening so I can stab it with this damn thing. And you see the sword like wave the sword.
I want to stab it with the sword. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I was like, do you guys ever watch WWE?
Do you
Every
know me?
day,
You
wow.
know me, Peter?
Okay. Do you know what an RKO is?
Yes.
I'm gonna try to RKO him and hold him down. So what role is that? A contested might or bronze
Okay.
roll?
That would
As I'm
be,
gonna run.
So are we
and
evolution now? Is that who we are? Was that our team?
I guess so.
That
I
would
would
be
like
a contested brawn roll.
I would like to Megazord RKO him out of nowhere.
I love this so much.
And so you said we have an upshift, right?
Yes.
Okay, baller. All right, here we go.
My God.
This technically makes Billy Ric Flair.
I have a 13.
I have a total of that would be a 19 total to RKO.
Describe to me how this RKO looks.
So like I back up a couple of steps and then I kind of like dig the Megazord's heel into the dirt, and then I look like I'm running straight at him, and when he goes to swing, I have us duck, like weave under the arm, and then grab the back of his head and just use the jets to send us forward, so we're almost like flat in the air, and then use the jets to push us straight back down into the ground to RKO him into the earth.
Okay. Roll just a D8 for me.
God.
6.
All right, so you do 6 points of damage.
Let's
RKOing
go.
him into the ground.
Do I punt kick
He
him
is
now?
considered.
I punt kick him now, right? That's the move, obviously.
Yeah, you just walk up, just
He is
Yeah, take
prone,
a running start and
prone,
curb stop.
restrained, and grappled
let's go.
Let's go.
all at once. With that, Dior.
There is going to be radio silence for like 2 seconds and then 1 moment. And I want to make sure that grip is good. So we're going to inverted cattle mutilation and just flip back and keep the neck held up.
This
Okay.
is just gonna turn into
Alright.
WWE Power
Okay,
Okay,
Rangers.
I need to
This will
climb up
be-
on top of a building. I think that's my next turn.
This will
top
be
row.
another brawn roll. He'll be
Alright.
doing this with a snag because he is already grappled and restrained.
I know what I'm doing next turn.
That's
Off the
fine.
top rope.
Watch my hold
All
on,
right,
watch my
so-
brawn.
You have to beat a
Hold
13. No, it's
the-
the Zord's brawn.
Use the
I
Zord's
know, I'm
brawn
looking
of the
at the
D8.
Zord brawn, yeah.
But does he have an upshift too? Because he got
He
hit.
does have an upshift.
So you
Yes.
roll a D10.
Oh. Not like
Let's 619 this motherfucker.
that. And I know I had to do
Hang him on some power lines.
that is even with the snag, that is a 16 on the
No.
D20.
Not a snag for you. It was a snag for him.
Oh, so then it would have actually been so it would have been a 16 and then a 10 on the die.
So
26.
26.
Absolutely. That's more than double.
Yeah.
So roll the d10 for me.
8.
You deal an additional 8 points of damage to him, putting him in the cattle mutilator.
Is he tapping out?
Grazing and
Is he tapping
holding
out?
all the way through? You can see, like, from all of the exhaust ports of the red Necronite monster form, just like spews and gouts of flame coming out of it constantly. But because he's essentially wrapped around the throat, he can't really make much noise other than these spurts of exhaust coming out.
Frankie, whatever you're gonna do, make it good.
Yeah, just hold him there. I got
From
this.
the top rope. Just climb on from the top of the building.
Marcia and Gina.
Gina, do you want to take this one first?
I'm sitting here thinking, what's a good wrestling move to chain into?
We're just Zack Sabre Juniors.
You could use your action to even further lock in the hold by giving the direction to the Jiraiya Zord to use the chains from its form to wrap even more onto the Rev Necronite.
That sounds like a Marcia thing.
Well, both the Kitsune Sword and the Almirage Sword are being used to hold that lock. That's why I'm trying to present other options from the other swords that are attached. Or you
Okay,
can, that's what you want to do?
I guess. I
Alright.
can't really think of anything on the spot right now.
Give me another brawn roll, D8 skill. Again, another snag for the Rev Necronite. That is an 8 for them.
That's a 7 for me.
7 total.
Yep.
Even with the D10?
Oh, I rolled a D8. I didn't remember to upshift it. And that's an 8.
All right, so it ties. So you're maintaining what was already being held. You weren't able to get any more additional effects to like compound onto that. But the hold is maintained.
Okay. I just rolled a 2 on the D20. There's nothing. Yeah.
Wasn't a 1, so we're good. We're good.
Marcia.
Since we're in this silly territory, I wanted to know if it was possible on my turn. Does anyone here know what a Mexican surfboard looks like?
No. What is?
I'll put it in chat here in a second as Gina lets me know, or Marcia lets me know exactly what they're
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
do.
already ahead of you. Well, I got this.
Yeah, is it possible we could just just convert our present hold into that?
If you would like to.
I would in fact like to.
Alrighty,
Especially because I
again,
didn't use my upshift last turn. So I
Again.
shall use it now.
this will be a brawn roll. You have
Brawn,
the
so my D8 becomes D10.
and then your personal upshift, you could take it up to the D12.
Ah, yes,
Oh.
let's do that.
Oh. Oh, that looks painful.
It is.
One
Just
can
gonna answer
only
that now.
imagine.
I don't have to. I've been in one.
Ugh. 13.
Don't count it out yet.
Uh,
They're rolling 3d20, taking the lowest, plus a d2 at this point because of all of the fails that they've had.
Okay.
and that's a 9 on theirs.
Okay.
So roll a D12 by itself for me.
9.
They'll take an additional 9 points of damage being converted into this new hold and lock. Frankie.
Yeah.
They are going to automatically fail whatever happens to them next. Just so you are aware.
Let's go.
So their toughness is now down. Their evasion is basically 0 at this point. They are grappled, restrained, prone, impaired. They're immobilized.
So I guess I'm gonna roll with an edge. I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah. That's a good thought there. That might be. Yeah,
does it
absolutely
just
what
not take a turn because it's so restrained right now?
There's nothing it can do.
Okay, cool.
At this point.
Then I am going to climb up the biggest building nearby,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna jump off and do a coup de grace with the sword down, right into the chest. Which is, especially with the Mexican surfboard, I can go through the chest without hitting them because there's that gap in between now. So that's what I'm gonna do.
So you
not
only have an edge, you have an upshift.
Okay.
Plus, you're starting this attack more than 5 feet away from your allies, so you would get your solo strike added to it as well.
Okay. Where the fuck's my? I've never used the D12 in this system yet. Okay, so D12 and 2 D20s. Okay. That is hold on. That's gonna be a 29 to hit. With the Bandersnatch coup de grace, as I just jump straight down off the top of the building, blade into the chest, and just twist it. That's 12 sharp damage from this blade.
As our heroes whose powers are drawn from the warriors and mystics of the past use modern solutions for modern problems.
You just say in canon it was like a WWE pay-per-view like the other day. That's probably why.
That's why Peter was like, wait.
I know exactly how to approach this.
We just all watched All In.
There is one thing that will happen as all of this occurs. Both Zords. I need both Zords to give me a D20 and a D6 roll.
Okay.
So whoever wants to make it for the allegory Zord can make that roll.
The dirty 20 for me.
All right.
Dirty 20 for the Jabberwock.
And a D6, you said?
Yes.
That is a 15 for us.
15 for the allegory. The allegory Zord. As this modern solution for a modern problem happens, this burst of dark energy, the allegory Zord is almost consumed in fire. You are left with 1 hit point on each component of the allegory Megazord.
Yikes!
Owie.
Not a fan of that.
And as the smoke clears from that, just inches away from the sharpened point of the Bandersnatch blade of the Jabberwock Megazord, we see Bone unconscious on the chest of the allegory Megazord.
Eject. I'm going.
You go get him?
Yeah.
Teleport out. As you teleport out and are standing on the torso portion of the allegory Megazord, you can see Bone is unconscious. His entire left arm is like covered in black ink as if it had been almost like tattooed up his arm, and is slowly like still continuing its motion up.
I'm just gonna grab him and port to a place that might be able to help. And I'm sorry about this. I'm not consulting y'all. I'm going straight to the Arcanium plexus and seeing if we can't get like medical help through there to try to help him. I'm porting straight into the Arcanium plexus.
Alrighty. You teleport into the Arcanium plexus with the unconscious bone.
I need help. I need help.
There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
As just
Fuck is
before
Billy?
as just before you were going to teleport in, there was another scene that was going to be seen by the audience. As Valsa left the power chamber with one of the bracelets on her wrist, Professor William Cranston teleported into the Arcanium plexus, going to see the Megazord protocols and who was manning them at that time, because he was not within the power chamber, and stumbles across Schrodinger. As Schrodinger lets Professor Cranston know, I gave Frankie my Zord, so he's got a whole new like Megazord thing that he's doing. Amazing, by the way. He should be the one leading the group, but that's just my opinion because I got a soft spot for Frankie's in like the other parallel universes. But the other guys, they got the Almirage, which I mean, there are other allegory Zords that they could be looking into, but at least they got that one. So like they're forming the allegory Megazord with the Almirage. And you know, I'm pretty sure that they got that under control. And as having this conversation puts a bracelet onto Professor Cranston's wrist.
Motherfucker. Okay. Don't know who
And
that
just
was
as the
targeting at
bracelet
all.
just as the bracelet is placed onto his wrist, Schrodinger teleports out of the Arcanium plexus. This happened during the
fight.
Megazord fight.
Right.
So Gina, as you appear within the Arcanium plexus with Bone, calling out for somebody to help, there is no one there except for you and the unconscious Bone.
Okay. So upon seeing no one around, I'm going to... Do we have a medical bay?
Yes, you do. There is a medical
Okay.
bay within the power chamber.
Is there a chamber within the medical bay that's supposed to put people into sleep and halt the progress of any debilitating diseases that they may be carrying?
Yes, there are several stasis chambers within the power chamber that are used to like protect any off-world rangers who might end up crashing here, and the environment isn't good for their body, so that they can better adjust or allow the morphing grid to adjust them to the atmosphere. So you could definitely take Bone into the power chamber and set him within one of those stasis chambers.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and freeze him in time, hopefully. That way the progress of this...
Are you doing that with magic, or are you just putting him through the like technological stasis that's there?
I'm putting him through the technological stasis as well as magic, hopefully, just because I want that little extra oomph.
Okay. When Dior gets there, Dior would be the best one to do the technological portion of it to make sure it's 100% sealed. But give me a spell crafting roll for this. It's D6. No, for you it's a D8 because you're specialized in it.
D8. Come on, give me something good, little sweet Mathrax.
What'd you get?
I'm gonna spend a story point, even though we're down to like 2 right now, I think, for this day.
No, it refreshes at
It's
the
per
beginning of every
it's per
session.
session. Or
Oh,
so if
it's
you use one,
per
it puts it. If
session?
you use one, it puts us to 4 because I used one earlier.
All right, cool. If I use one, it puts us to 4.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna try. Should I reroll the 2 on the 8 or the 10 on the 20? Because 10 on the 20 is pretty
You're-
average statistically, and I could roll worse. But
You are specialized in this skill, so you would roll D8, D6, D4, and D2 plus
Oh,
the D20.
Yeah, when you're specialized, you roll all the dice at and below and take the highest number.
all right. All right. So, and I only get to reroll 1 die with the story point, correct?
Yes.
All right. In that case, I will. Well, I already rolled the D8 over again, and it was the same exact number. All right, so the highest I got was a 4 on the D6, so that's going to be a 14 total.
Okay. You feel that the spell is set in place, but it is going to take a little bit more energy. Like the equation is correct. You just need the final summary of the equation to be finished. You know, one other person coming to help might be able to better seal that entirely.
Okay.
As this happens, Frankie, Marcia, Dior, what are you doing?
Do I see anything that he uses key that strangers threw at me before he left? Do I see anything that even looks like it would work with it left over from the Zord?
Nope.
Okay, it's noted then. I mean the Zord.
So you guys are still out there in your Zords at this point.
Yeah, I'll teleport down. The Zord's not. There's nothing to their threats. I'll teleport down to like the area where the Zord was before it got messed up, and see what I can find.
You don't find anything really. You just see the allegory Megazord like still like on its back, like almost charred completely.
It hurt.
I walk up to it and nudge it. You guys are okay in there?
I think we all have like a tan.
It's a little
That
toasty.
really hurts.
I'll just like sit the Zord up. You know, with Gina, which part of the Zord did you control? It was the right arm. Yeah.
Left arm.
Left arm. Yeah, I'll just use the right arm, like in help with everybody else to push us back up. Like that hurt a lot.
Randy's just like, nice RKO. I was always more of a Judgment Day fan though, so I had to.
Fair. We got to try the tombstone sometime. See if that would work.
That'd be dope. Or a double choke slam.
Yeah, that would be fun. Or the
As
spear.
as that conversation is happening, I want to open my communicator. Hey, Volsa, you there?
Nothing. There isn't even a contact for Volsa within your communicator at this point. Because she is no longer a ranger.
She changed her number.
She could only contact you from the power chamber itself.
Not in the power chamber. Oh, God. How's everything looking out there? Everything good?
Are you asking Frankie or me?
Asking Frankie, yeah. Asking Frankie.
Yeah, everything looks fine. I'm not seeing anything around the area. It looks like when we took the Zord out, it just like disappeared.
Anything else we need to do out here, or should we head back?
I think we should probably follow Gina back and see what we can do. Her boyfriend looked pretty messed up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's head home then. Just
Yep. I pulled the flute out and like do something on the flute to dismiss the combined sword, and then I'll teleport away.
As you do so, you watch the green energy of the Dragon Zord kind of like coalesce and almost dematerialize as Chauffand, the Cheshire Zord, just smiles at you for a second before the whole body disappears, leaves just the grinning face before even that leaves the visible spectrum.
Creepy.
As the rest of the Rangers are making their way towards the the power chamber and the Arcanium plexus.
Yep.
We cut to Schrodinger outside of UCAG, where there are parents gathered over the recent fire within the English literature and occult theology building, as well as the attack that happened on the within the student parking lot just a few days ago. And outside, we see Marcia's mother and Peter's father stepping in between the crowd, unnoticed, invisible. A bracelet gets put onto Peter's father's wrist.
You gonna make me a villain again.
And as one would have been placed on Marcia's mother's, Schrodinger missed and placed it on Barrett's instead.
Barrett's scary already.
Fine.
God.
And as the camera
hate
pulls
this.
away from those points, before moving to our break, we see one other scene. Generals of the Dread Hollow have Nikos over a large spell plinth. A lion's head carved from stone next to his. The head of a ram, the horns coming up underneath the arms. A serpent's head at the end of the plinth pointing towards the face of Nikos, the wings of a bat, and the clawed visage of a dragon on this stone plinth. As we watch Nikos' body become subjected to dark magic, as he shakes and pulls against the restraints, we see a version of him separated from his own body and held to that table before the body is picked up and just thrown onto the floor.
Separated Bruce Banner from the Hulk.
As Yamaya says to Hesius, perhaps we make a deal with the knights. They give us that phantom of theirs. We give them their friend. And that's where we will take our break.
Oh, that's fucked.
Everyone
They
grab
want
a
to kill
drink.
Schrodinger too?
Everyone get a drink, use the restroom, and we will be back with all of you in about 10 minutes. See you soon.
I mean, deal.
And welcome back to ArcaKnights, a Power Rangers actual play series here on the Initiative Order, as we return from a few scenes away from the Rangers that has taken place and will have consequences at some point in time in the near future. But for now, we find the team regathered within the power chamber, with Gina having placed Bone within one of the stasis pods in the power chamber medical bay. Dior, you know exactly the protocol to initiate on this that will stave off any internal injuries, start repairing any physical harm or damage that's been done to him, and put him not into a coma, but almost catatonic to help progress the healing if necessary.
Dior, can I get your help over here?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we need to get him into the stasis, and I'm not really entirely sure all of the procedures for this, so let me help you. And then, do you think you could give me a hand with some magic afterward?
I can certainly try. I'm not exactly good at that side of things, but yeah.
I'm just looking for assistance.
Well, I can do what I can.
Can I?
All right, so
can
I would
can
like
I
to provide
follow
the
up?
help action to Dior, if Dior provides the help action to me.
While they're doing this, I want to
Absolutely.
see if there's anything on Bone that matches this fucking key that I have.
Give me an alertness. If you have investigation, then use investigation.
Definitely be alertness.
So Dior, give me that technology roll.
It's a 21 with a nat 20 on the d20.
Woo! Fuck yeah.
Oh my god. This wouldn't happen to be a Morphing Grid tech thing.
It's in the power chamber. It is
Oh my
considered
god,
Morphing
it
Grid tech.
is. Goody. Where's my U? I see you were this now. Yeah, tech never fails me. That's an 18.
Yep. You are able to begin and get all of the protocols moving forward on the stasis pod. Gina, go ahead and make that spellcrafting roll with an edge from the help of Dior.
Awesome. And pick up all dice.
And then Peter and Marcia, what are you guys doing?
I mean, so it's just us, right? There's nobody else here.
No one else.
All right. I guess I'd just check up on the alerts or the cameras, those types of things. See if there's anything else we need to know after defeating the red one.
Are you doing that within the power chamber or in the Arcanium plexus?
Where would we typically do that?
Either one of those places, but the power chamber would be technology, the Arcanium plexus would be spellcrafting.
Let me see what's better.
Remember, your spellcasting is a D6 specialized skill.
And my tech is pretty low. I'll do it in the Arcanium plexus.
Okay. Marcia, what are you doing?
Do we, at the end of that fight, do we have Bones' bracelet?
Bones' bracelet is on his wrist, and it looks to be where all of this dark ink that is moving under his skin up his body.
Did we already put him in the thing?
Yes, he is in the stasis pod currently, because he was severely unconscious. And other information looking at him, you could tell he was like severely dehydrated, completely unconscious. You don't know what this infection might be doing to his body, kind of thing. So that's why he was immediately put into the stasis chamber.
Can we get any sort of analysis from objects within the stasis chamber?
You can have Dior run a scan on it with technology, or you can do that with magic from outside of the stasis chamber if you would like.
Dior, can you help me with the thing?
Absolutely. Give me 1 second to finish off what I'm doing here.
Gina, what did you get on your roll?
Well, before I rolled the 20 with advantage because of the edge, it was a 27. But then because I rolled a 19 with an 8 on the D8, but then I re-rolled that and it turned into a natural 20. So I double crit on my 2 highest dice.
So with that, with the help of Dior adding his own Black Ranger Spectrum magic to your own, you were able to complete the spell equation and start curing what may be a curse or hex that's been placed onto both. In doing so, you stopped the creeping of the black underneath the skin. So it has stopped, but it is roughly past the elbow at this point, and it is staying there. You are able to identify that it is coming from the bracelet itself, and was not like bracelet was put on and then a hex and then a curse was placed. So this is all originating from the bracelet itself. Peter, what did you get on your spellcasting roll?
That is a 17.
17 total.
Yes.
Moving into the Arcanium plexus, you see that a multitude of the books that are on the shelves have been thrown across the room.
Oh.
Like a good 30, 40 books have been ripped from the shelves and just launched all over the room.
What else is here? Or
You also see Philo is unconscious.
Oh. Hey, Philo, you all right?
As you move forward towards Philo, the spellcrafting roll that I was having you make was to see if you could influence him to return to consciousness, as he is a ranger familiar. Using some of the newly regained red spectrum magic, you're able to wake Philo back up. And he's
What happened,
almost
little buddy?
lost. Like he doesn't know where he's at the moment.
Yo, Philo, it's Peter. You're in the Arcanium plexus. What happened to you? You were unconscious.
Professor Cranston was here,
Yeah.
and then he got very upset.
About what?
Don't know. And
he
then
attacked you?
he began throwing the books, and I tried to see what had occurred, and one of them hit me.
One of them.
One of the books. I had the notes for the spell to bring back Flamel out, and now he's like looking across, like head is doing full 360s. And now it's mixed in all of this.
It's mixed, or did they take it?
I don't think they took it. I don't think Professor Cranston would take it, and he's still like looking over the room.
Is there like security camera footage of like inside the Arcanium plexus?
Philo would be able to show you
Philo,
whatever had occurred.
Can you show me what happened in this room when Professor Cranston went bananas?
You watch his eyes become these like starry nebulas looking into your own, and then you begin seeing from Philo's perspective. He heard somebody teleport out of the power chamber, moved over the paperwork of the completed equation to bring back Flamel, as Professor Cranston had appeared. Turned to Professor Cranston. Professor Cranston smiled. When Philo turned back to the papers, you then see books flying past him, like over Philo's head. And once he flies up and turns towards Professor Cranston, one of the books hits him right in the face and knocks him to the floor unconscious. You do see a bracelet on Professor Cranston's wrist when this happens.
Guys.
What?
Guys.
What?
Marcia,
What's up?
you were helping Dior do a scan over the bracelet to try and get more information about it. As that is, before that roll is made, Frankie, you see on the top of the bracelet itself a keyhole that would fit the Turbo Ranger
Yeah,
key
I put the
in
key
your
in.
possession.
I put it in.
He's inside the stasis tube. You'd have to open the stasis tube up in order to do that.
I will be like, alternatives, guys, I might have an idea, and I'll hit the open button on it, and then I'll try to do that.
Okay. As you take the red turbo morpher key and place it to the bracelet, it slides into the bracelet. And from the outside, look again, it looks like you just jammed this key all the way through his wrist. But looking between the space of the bracelet and his wrist, there's nothing passing through there.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole key enters into the keyhole. And as you turn it, the bracelet opens up.
I will take the bracelet.
You take the bracelet off.
Yeah, I'll take the bracelet off.
As you take the bracelet off, all of the darkness on Bone's arm disappears completely.
Oh,
that was easy.
Put that thing down.
Yeah, I'll go lock this up. Do we have like a chamber or something for artifacts or items or something? I can
We
put
just break it.
Within the power chamber.
We're in the artifact chamber.
But then
Yeah.
there's a stupid
Yeah.
cat that
I'm
keeps
gonna
coming around taking
find.
shit.
I'm gonna find a safe to put it in, and then before I lock it in the safe, I'm gonna snap it in half and then put it in there.
Okay. You find
Wait, before you do that, Frankie, we're gonna destroy that, obviously. But I want to run some tests on it if Dior can help me.
I mean, I'm never
run test on the crazy monster bracelet.
I'm never not going to be opposed for pursuits of Morphing Grid technology.
It is somehow connected to the grid, and it is something that the bad guys literally wanted us to confront.
And if that's also what I think it might be, it's also super, super connected to a really important facet of the grid. So yeah.
Frankie
Alright.
just deadpans at you. Or you say that. I
No.
caught onto that.
Yeah.
I know exactly what the hell this is, I think.
I'm definitely all up for studying this and figuring out how we can break it without needing the specific key for each one. Or for that, at least.
It's gonna be
if it happens again.
a little more specific.
How
than
we
a
could get
key.
someone
But-
out of this trance without having to get in a fight with them.
Exactly. That's what I mean. But for now, I think we do need to put Bone back into the homeostasis pod and make sure that there's no lasting effects or damage, and then we can figure out what to do after that and get him back to the juice shack and just like put him at a table or something and make him think he had a dream. I don't know.
So
We just need to make sure that he's okay before we can do this.
Pluto knows what's going on with these bracelets. Can I make a roll to see if Frankie can tie together the weapons to this? Because, like, it's a little obvious, but Frankie's not the smartest tool in the box.
You had already made that roll like 2 episodes ago, so there's no
Okay.
need to make it again.
Got it.
Everybody is of the same thought process to
Yeah,
it.
I don't.
Those relics were taken and then used to create these new dark morphing grid morphers for these dark rangers.
So yeah, I think we're gonna need to go through old Ranger stuff. I think we're gonna need the specific morphers from my uncle, or at least his whatever he used to access them.
Dior has the biggest, goofiest smile on his face.
My only
This is
question
when
is,
all of you hear Peter from the
Guys!
Plexus.
Oh,
Okay.
God damn
all
it.
right. Well, on our walk, I'm just really curious how they got more of these items to just like turn random people into it, because we already know the 5 who got the items that were stolen from you, right?
They must have used the items to make these bracelets, I'm assuming. That's the only thing I can think of. We literally just fought like an evil version of my uncle's Turbo Zord.
Yeah, maybe you want to put your uncle's stuff in a warehouse somewhere?
I had it locked up in my dojo where I live, safe with
Yeah,
On
me.
the
but
It ain't-
glass.
that's also like a public space because you always have people in and out of there.
I have 4 students, I'm counting 2 of you. 3 of you,
I'm
actually.
gonna start heading
Anyone
over
can
to where.
walk
Guys, guys,
All right,
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
Okay,
I'm
we're coming.
bring
God.
your ass. All right. So, as you can see, books everywhere. Flamel here, not Flamel.
Philo.
God, Philo. This both starts with an F. Philo, I found him knocked out on the ground. Well,
Oh.
it turns out, Dr. Krimsin chucked a book at him, knocked him out. All right.
Oh,
And then I looked at the security camera footage, and Dr. Krimsin, while he was going nuts, noticed he had a little piece of jewelry on his wrist that he didn't
Yeah.
have before.
God damn it.
he had a what?
He had one of the damn Psycho Ranger things.
How? He didn't leave this. I mean, he left for like a second, but how?
But somebody
know
put it on
how.
him.
We can make an educated guess as to whom.
Well,
Who would what the Dreadlords? The Dread Hollows?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past bad guys to do bad things.
is there any
Oh my
way
God.
to
Whoa.
I
watch
slowly turned to look at Schrodinger.
Yeah, I'm gonna just slowly crack my head like
Got like
Turn
a
to look at it.
whole like hot pot bowl of ramen. It's just like
Why
all
are
right.
you still here?
why are you here? Hot. So close to smacking it out of his hands. Why are you here? You have done nothing but hinder, not help. Why
Frankie,
are you
who
here?
gave you Frankie, who gave you the key?
You
You gave me the key.
Would you like to help us
but I'm
solve this
pretty
problem,
sure you
then?
just took
Mhm.
that out of our chamber.
Because I figured out that that's how you stop the ranger powers that were stolen from.
so how did Gina's boyfriend get the bracelet?
He's not my boyfriend.
And how did someone get in here and put one on the old man?
I was getting noodles.
Can
Awesome.
I insight check?
Yeah, I was
him?
gonna say, is there an insight check? What
Is
would
there an
that
insight
be?
check in this game?
Is that streetwise?
Immediate see. It's
It's
alertness.
It's an alertness specialty.
Ooh, I got that.
So it's alertness,
And
then.
to see the insight on people, I believe some of us have an edge.
Got a 16.
Beor's not
14.
gonna do this.
I gain an edge when trying to determine someone's motives. So
Same.
Jesus Christ.
I got a 14.
20. The 2 on the
Ooh!
skill die.
14.
Let's go.
So who had
14.
the highest?
A 16.
Uh,
I believe it's
Marcia.
Marcia
with the 20.
with a 20. All right. Schrodinger got a 24.
Oh.
So
Jesus Christ.
from everything that you guys have seen of Schrodinger, yes, he is a little shit. Yes, he has not exactly helped in a way that can be determined as 100% positive. But he did leave his Zord to Frankie. He did help Frankie morph when nobody else could to break the stun off of him. He did help Dior to morph when he wasn't able to. He gave Frankie the key that would help unlock the bracelet to remove it from Bone in order to save his life. Has he been going around getting food from random places? Absolutely. He's done it since he showed up. He got burgers, he got burritos, he got chicken nuggets, he got ice cream. Everything that he's saying up to this point, it all checks out to everything you are aware of this person.
All right. I just have one thing. We know Professor Cranston was in here at the time that it happened. Can we watch all of his footage from the last hour or two?
Philo only had Philo only had him walking in and then him smiling at him and then going crazy. That's the only footage of Cranston.
Okay.
in here. Right? Because there's no
How did they
actual
get
security
to him?
cameras. It's just Philo.
Mhm.
Okay.
How did they get to him though?
Well, I mean, he is like a whole professor at a school that you guys all go to. You guys were fighting in class like a day ago.
Yor is going to be walking around the entire place, trying to see if he can find where Volsa might be.
I
She's
guess
not within the space.
we should clean this up. Do you want to do something useful and help us clean this up?
I didn't make the mess.
Pops back in.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Philo. Do you know where Volsa went?
No, I don't.
That's concerning.
Well, Cranston's still attached to the grid, right?
Potentially, right, Dior?
I mean,
Volsa,
technically,
I think Volsa teleported out before Professor Cranston had teleported in.
I mean, they're both somewhat connected to the grid. Maybe
Maybe
we can trace them.
Well, I can see if I can contact Cranston, and then if I can't, I might be able to find out where he is
I
anyway.
mean,
But
I can also
Yeah,
try
I was
contact
thinking-
Cranston. He is technically my guardian. Should be able to go to his place maybe and see.
sure, I'm just worried
I'm
that
assuming I've been to his house before. I can probably teleport there, right?
I'm just
Oh, yeah.
worried that if they got a hold of him, then
Anyone looking over the space for any more information?
Yeah, I've
Gonna
started
make
cleaning
a-
and looking around.
And make a technology, an alertness, or a spellcasting
Alertness,
roll.
please.
I think Frankie's just going to teleport to the professor's house.
17
Okay.
for me.
I still want to analyze the bracelet.
I
It's still
did.
available to be analyzed. It was placed within the same lockbox that all of the Turbo Ranger keys were in previously. 4 of them are missing, but there's the red Ranger Turbo key that is in the bracelet within the box.
I did say I'd help, so I will also help with the analyzation.
And I think Gina is actually going to go up to the Arcanium plexus itself, the screen area, and she is actually going to search to see if she can find Professor Cranston anywhere in the city while using the morphing data that we know of his, and seeing if we can't track that to a specific location.
So are you using technology or magic?
I hate to say it, but definitely technology.
Okay, so doing it with technology, you'd have to go into the power chamber for that.
Yeah, that's what I meant when.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
I'm cleaning up and looking around still and just shooting glares at fucking.
Well, I'm gonna go to the professor's.
Gotcha,
I
okay.
will stay in touch with you guys, and then I just
Absolutely.
swipe up my
Sounds
phone
good.
and teleport out of the chamber to
Call us
professor's
the
house.
moment something weird happens.
Yep, gotcha.
They say.
Every once in a while, Peter, Schrodinger like moves a book closer to your hand with his foot while still eating his bowl of noodles. See, it's helping. I'm helping.
Did the
You know,
grid
this-
make you this frustrating on purpose, or was this just
No.
you?
No, dealing with Rangers who don't realize how ungrateful they are for the power they have made me this way.
So you just chose to be a passive aggressive little shit.
Yeah,
Got it.
it helps
You know-
teach
you know-
people lessons.
Does it? It just makes you unlikable.
Your brother cares about you, even
This
after
is
you
true.
tried to kill him.
Yeah, this is known. I understand that. I'm just
And
saying you haven't
who
done
f-
all that much.
Further reinforced that connection there. If I hadn't left with the book, you wouldn't have gotten as upset and done what you did, and then he wouldn't have had the conversation with the morphing grid that he did that led to him realizing that your redemption was worth a damn and your connection was still there to go and attempt to plead your case to the morphing grid and bring you back because of his love and care for you. I think I'm doing a great job here, whether you see it or
Awesome.
not.
Okay, so you haven't caused any other issues. You haven't done anything wild while you've been here.
I've been around you guys and getting food. What could I have done?
That's not even true. Oh my
Yep.
Dior.
I'm just gonna
It's
keep
a-
cleaning.
It's at this
I-
time, Peter, you
I want an
notice two
excuse to leave
things.
this room.
Okay.
One, you find all 7 of the pages that have the equation Philo put together.
Okay.
And it was within the room. It ended up like thrown off of the table as some of the books like collided and everything. Another thing is you're noticing very familiar footsteps that look recent in the area. There's not enough for 2 and 2 to make 4. But 2 and 2 are there.
Familiar. Well, in the sense that like I have seen these footsteps before, or I like, or
that the same footprints that are on some of these pages and some of these books in the room match the footprints of somebody within this room. Two and 2 is there, but it's not equaling 4 currently.
How long were you in this room before us? Before we got back?
Yeah, a few minutes. I came here after I gave Frankie my Zord, and this was like this. So I was just waiting for you guys to get back to figure out what was going on.
You didn't see Krimsin?
Nope. Room was like this.
Because I have 2 and 2, may I roll another streetwise? Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20 and then total of 24.
He was here when whatever happened with Cranston happened. You can't confirm that he put the bracelet on or anything.
Right,
but
right.
He was here.
I'll throw that meta knowledge away.
Yeah, but he was here.
Why are you lying? You
Lying
were
about
here.
what?
You were here when Cranston freaked out.
I just said I was here. I didn't see Cranston.
You're
but
lying.
I was here.
Why are you lying about you were here? You saw it. You're a good liar, but I
think there's a lot more to it, and you're focused on me because you don't like me.
I'm focused on you because there's something you're not telling me, and I think it has something to do with the reason that Cranston freaked out.
So why
and
don't
that you were
ask your
here.
question?
What did you do to Cranston?
I didn't do anything to Cranston. Cranston made his own decisions. I am continuing the lesson that all of you are supposed to learn.
What caused Cranston to freak out then?
I'm assuming it's one of the Necronite bracelets.
And how did that get on his wrist?
There's a lot of ways it could have gotten there. The Dread Hollows could have put it on there. They do have a Gold Ranger who can get into this space if he so wishes.
But is that what happened?
That's not what happened, is it?
No, it's not.
So then what really happened?
Figure it out.
You put it on his wrist.
Did I? As he steps back between the bookcases and disappears.
Homer Simpson through that.
Dior?
I know you guys didn't like it. But if I could figure out how to do what I did again, can I do it to him?
This is a slow breath from Dior.
Can I? Please.
As much as I would
really
also
hope
enjoy
one of you-
that,
I really
no.
hope one of you let Frankie know this information at some point.
Dior, I think the thing that I need has been bumped up in severity a little bit.
Research it, yeah.
Frankie,
Okay.
Yeah.
you appear within Professor William Cranston's home, safeguarded from outside surveillance and connected to the teleportation grid.
Mm-hmm.
You arrive within the living room space. It is completely quiet. All of the lights are off. It is still daylight. It's roughly about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. But it is completely silent within the house.
Okay, creepy. I will turn my phone light on and find the nearest light switch. I've been here enough times, like the lights and everything on.
Yep. As you turn the light switch on, what is your evasion?
I love that question. Hold on a second. Keys, evasion. Let me
Opens the
demorph.
announcement of entering our room like
it is
that.
it is 15.
The 15, so 25 definitely hits your evasion.
That would hit my toughness that I'm up to take.
You take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
As you turn the light switch on, you don't see Professor Cranston from behind you. Just solid kidney strike. And then move back into another like defensive position, looking at you.
What
I figured
the hell?
And I figured being his nephew, you'd be a little bit better of a fighter than this.
What the hell's gotten into you, old man? I don't want to have to hurt you. What's going on? Do I see the bracelet?
You see the bracelet. You also see 2 power lances go into his hand as he immediately swings both of them over and makes 2 swings at you with them.
Okay.
The first one is a 16 to your toughness.
That misses.
Okay. And then the second one is only a 9.
Also misses. Yeah, so I want to say, like, as he does that, I also call my gauntlet and the dragon dagger and block the strikes.
Okay.
Dope.
And the 2 of you end up back and forth in this drawn out, like, power weapon combat without morphing. Because it's during this fight that you attempt to morph and you realize that his home has been disconnected from the morphing grid.
Makes sense.
And this carries on and on and on until you realize you are in this blank white space.
What the I can do this all day, old man. What's going on? Stop it. So I evade another blow and push it back again.
As you push him back, you see him disappear. And you see Nikos step in. Got a deal for you.
The hell do you want?
I want the Phantom.
Schrodinger?
I could care less what their name might be, but I want the Phantom. And in exchange, you can have your friend.
I'm not talking to Nico, am I?
No. The Phantom took things from me.
Yeah, he's been doing that a lot since he's got here.
Yeah.
What do you want with him?
What does it matter?
It matters because I don't trust you.
You have your offer.
Frankie doesn't respond, just like clenches his fist with the gauntlet on.
If you want to fight, we can fight. Peter saw how well that turned out.
Ass. Just saying.
I mean, do you want to? Can I morph in this zone, this area? Can I fill the morphin
within the extra dimensional space? Yes, you could.
Yeah, I'm gonna quick morph and punch him in the face.
Oh,
like not even call it out, just link to grid punch.
Make that attack roll.
Okay, cool. It's a solo strike. I'm gonna upshift because no one's here. So that's a D8, and I am specialized because I am a boxer. So. Okay, that is a 26, and that was a crit on the D8.
Ooh, baby.
It was almost a double crit, but it rolled at the last second.
He is going to spend a personal power point to change the equation and make you re-roll it with a snag.
Oh,
So I re-rolled the D20.
You re-roll the whole thing with a
Ooh,
snag.
okay.
You had him. He had to cheat. He had to cheat.
And it's a 13 on the D20. I will move down to the next dice, so there's a 1 on that. I crit on the D6, that's a 19 to hit.
19 misses. You
Let
quick
me
morph,
check.
take the swing, and as you go to take the swing, you see his quick morph start to engage, and as it does, that like tarnished gold wraps over the
Mhm.
gauntlet and just maintains that space between the two of you until his morph is complete.
At the end of my attack, because it's a free action, I do want to spend a personal power to summon my shield in my other hand and dismiss the dagger.
Got it.
Need that extra AC, I feel like. Or toughness, I mean.
You're turning this into a fight.
Have you met me?
Came here to talk.
Yeah, you picked the wrong ranger if you want to talk, honestly.
I could have left you to getting your ass beat by a former ranger.
I had that under control
You believe.
before you interfered.
You believe.
The problem is I can't trust you. You're just, what are you, Dark Nico? Is this like fucking Kingdom
is there
Hearts or
not-
something?
What is there not to trust? I am guaranteeing you the body of the person that I am possessing at this point in time for somebody that none of you care for, honestly.
But is an interdimensional being of some sort with a lot of power and abilities.
Who stole from you and stole from me.
How can I trust you?
What have I done to be untrustworthy? I haven't lied to you like that phantom has.
Fine. Meet me at the lake tomorrow noon. I'll get him there.
Tomorrow at the lake. The white room dissipates. As it does, you are standing back in the living room, unmorphed.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's nowhere around.
Of course he's not.
The light is on, and you could see the footprints across the floor that the two of you had been fighting in there prior to.
I guess I'll try to track him, but I doubt I'm gonna catch up to him. I'll track around the house, see if I can figure out where he went from here.
Give me a investigation, which I do believe falls under streetwise or alertness.
Okay, district boss. It's only gonna be a 7.
Nothing in here. It seems like he may have come here if only for the power lances themselves.
Gotcha. So he has bracelet tied to one of my uncle's powers and also has his Blue Ranger morphin weapons. That's awesome. Plus, he's technically the White ArcaKnight person at the moment. This is definitely great. I just send a text to the group chat. Found the old man. We fought. He got away. I don't tell him about Nico.
I text back that says, "Cat boy put it on his wrist." Send.
You just see ellipses pop up a few times, but then there's just no reply. Frankie's phone cracks a little bit in his hand. He's pissed.
The
Do
4 of you back in the Arcanium plexus. What are you doing?
All right. So first thought wasn't the right thought. What I was actually doing was probably more along the lines of going through all of the medical procedures for Damien, making sure like there's no lasting damage, making sure that there's fluids getting introduced to the system so he can no longer be dehydrated, and just basically checking all of that out so I can get him home.
Okay. Give me a science roll for me.
All right. I got a D2 with this. 18.
18. The stasis pod itself seems to be introducing via like the air and through osmosis of the pads that he's laying on, reintroducing fluids to him. His heart rate is returning to normal. His O2 levels are starting to get back to normal, but it is going to take a little while. From what the machine is giving you as far as information, it could be anywhere between the next 4 to 8 hours, and then he'll be completely back to normal.
All right, sounds good. And then y'all can talk about what you're doing.
I think Peter will walk over to Marcia and be like, here's this looks like this was the formula to bring Flamel back. I know this is Gina's wheelhouse, but one or both of you can hold on to it. I just don't think we should just leave it laying around, especially while these people can get into our place. And I was like, do you want to hold on to it, or do you want me to hold on to it?
Yeah, I think there are some places I could keep this safe. I guess I want to take a look at it as well.
Give me a spellcrafting roll.
That's D6,
D6
right?
specialized. Yep.
Uh, 16, but
16.
2 on my D2 skill die.
It is going to take at a minimum 3 rangers casting in order to complete the spell to bring Flamel back. But altogether, the equation is complete. The information is all correct, at least from the understanding of magic that everybody has. The spell circle, once laid out, with at the minimum 3 rangers casting the spell, will re-harness Flamel. You do also see and think that this could also be used on Dior to separate Zordon from Dior as well. There might be a slight modification that would have to be made, but you are seeing like the threads of possibility within this.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna convert my phone back into the spellbook form, slide those pages into what were otherwise going to be free pages in the grimoire, so they'll like become part of the book,
Meld into it,
and then close it back and put it away. And then I turn to Dior and go, can you still help me with this thing? Hopefully we could check a couple of things in private about this bracelet.
Yeah.
And I like do like a spell casting bubble to take the bracelet out of the lockbox and just kind of have it hovering in front of us.
Okay. And you're checking it with technology or magic, Dior?
Tech.
Tech? Okay. And Marcia is helping, so you will have an edge. What's up, Peter?
Oh, just when I have a thing, whenever I have a thing.
We could do it while they're making the roll.
So
do you want to leave while this is happening, so I could check a thing with you?
Sure.
Let me step out of the room.
Peter is gonna realize that he hasn't talked to Cinder since he went bad guy,
Mhm.
and he's gonna just kind of like awkwardly pull out his phone and go, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?"
Hey,
How you feeling?
healing.
Healing. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. Um, I mean, I'm sure you heard everything before when we talked about this, but that was pretty fucked up of me, and I'm sorry that it hurt you.
There's still like a scratch to his voice. Like that portion of him is still regaining power. As he says, when the light came, I think I understood you a little bit more.
That's good, right?
Your mom was my best friend when I was alive.
Okay. My actual mom, or is this great grandma mom?
That was your mom.
But how am I here in 2023 if my mom was in medieval times?
Cinder moves out of the phone, and it's almost as if it's like he goes to hug you, like a small dragon if they went to go hug you around the neck, and like the
Okay.
wings wrap around your head,
Mhm.
and you see a vision of your mom finding Excalibur within the lake of Turtle Bay when you were 8 years old. And when she found it, she was sent back in time, wielding Excalibur, becoming the Queen Arturia, leading the first ArcaKnights alongside Flamel. In the vision you had when you came back to consciousness, you were 8 years old when your mom disappeared. And all that was left was a letter to your dad and a key. You still have that key. It's been on your neck since episode 1. You've had this key.
I have so many questions.
It goes over there. And you see like Cinder's like moved the wings off and is like up onto your shoulder,
Mhm.
and like gestures towards one of the bookshelves that Schrodinger had been messing with when he first got here. Like he was looking for some way to open it, and it wouldn't open. He points
Peter's
to it.
gonna walk over there. And where's the keyhole on this thing, bud?
You see there is a book that is still on the shelf. And in the center of the spine, what to anybody else looking around would look like just a stitched keyhole design on the spine of the book. The closer you are to it, you see it is actually the hole for this key.
Okay, I'll take it off my neck and I will turn the key.
As you turn the key, the bookcase opens towards you. And as it does, you see behind that wall a glass chalice filled to the brim with ink.
Is that
And a note
is
next to it.
I'm gonna read the note.
You read the note. Write the truth, my son, and I'll see you when the truth is written. And you see your mother's signature on the bottom.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't know about this till now.
I think we all are.
I think that would have been bad. Okay, well, let's close this up. Is there anything else in this room besides the glass chalice?
Inside that space,
Yeah,
it is just a singular shelf with the glass chalice.
full of ink.
It seems to be illuminated from some magical means or whatever, filled with ink. That note next to it.
And I'll walk out, close it, put the key back around my neck, and
If we get Flamel back, we might be able to answer a lot more questions than we thought we could have before.
okay. All right. So my mom died in like what the medieval times then?
Not dead.
What do you mean? She went back in time. She's human. So
Time isn't as linear. Life isn't as linear. Magic isn't linear.
you think after piloting a building-sized robot, I'd be like okay with most things, but this is a lot. I need to I did have another question for you, but it doesn't really feel appropriate to ask anymore.
Ask it.
Well, I apologized like 20 minutes ago, and then I had this revelation about my time traveling mother and that she left me a thing of ink. My question for you is there a way that we can do that again? When I went all dark and spooky, but without going dark and spooky. Because what that form could do could really come in handy. But I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt the others, and I don't want to go all dark and spooky again. But is there a way that we could use that power against
And emotions back towards the ink.
Okay, man, I'm not.
You can't write a spell without ink. You could rewrite that form without the evil.
But I don't have the book.
Who said you needed the book? You have your own spell book. You have your own grimoire.
Oh, okay. But I
Trust
think.
you.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna. Yes, but I'm gonna not make the same mistake that I made last time, or unless you think I should not tell the rest of the team. But I think I'm gonna talk to the rest of the team about it first before I do that.
Think that I trust you, but they still would need to know.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go find them, and then Peter will just still like his face is kind of pale and just like and then I'll go, yeah, and try to find the rest of the crew.
Marcia, Dior.
Yeah, so let's look at this thing and see if we could find out something additionally useful. Hopefully one of two things. If we can track the rest of it, and if we know enough about it, that allows us to, I don't know, just kick it off, snap it off when some other wild stuff happens, because today has been a lot. I didn't think you could Mexican surfboard a giant monster, but I'm glad that we had to learn that. I never want to learn something like that again.
What, you didn't find it fun?
It was fun, but we're also fighting for our lives out here. I'd like to not have to find ways to make that enjoyable all the time. I'd like for it to stop happening. Wouldn't you?
You get nervous when you want to ask a really dangerous question. What's up?
Jesus, I shouldn't have hesitated. So I was looking over the spell equations that we just found.
For Flamel, yeah.
And yeah, they're very good. I don't know a lot. I'm sure you can tell me a lot more, but based solely on the spellcrafting stuff that we've already learned, and some rudimentary engineering stuff that I know from like running from cartels, I get the impression this is gonna work very, very well.
Magic is chaotic to me, but I obviously think that that would probably be the case.
I mean, chemistry is also chaotic, but everybody knows what happens when two compounds react.
You screw up a formula on chemistry, things can go disastrous. If you get a spell right, things can still go disastrous.
True. Which is why I wanted to ask you a thing.
What's up?
When I say that this is going to work very well, I mean it works well enough to get Zordon out of you.
Stops rotating the device and moves it away from his face.
Like, we've never had this conversation, obviously, because you're you, and I'm sure saying that you could not be you is ableist or something. But like, have you ever thought about
Not being this every day, yeah. But
is that a thing that you'd want?
I don't really know. I haven't really been me since a whole lot of years. So I don't really know.
I mean, it's your choice, and the equation only needs 3 people, which I presume doesn't include you, because you'll like be asleep or something when it happens. But if that's a choice you ever want to make, we can ask the rest of the group about it. I think that's, if that's a thing that you want. But we kind of need to save the world first.
And we need to think about it. I mean, I need to think about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure Zordon has opinions as well. I don't know how that works. Again, I'm sorry if I'm crossing a boundary.
No. Oh yeah, no. Zordon is the one with the opinions. Yeah.
Okay, I deserve that. But let me know.
Dior, give me that technology or spellcrafting roll for your
Rolled it earlier. It was a 22.
22. They're, from what you can see, the bracelets are based off of essentially mirroring the light side of the morphing grid spectrum into the dark side. In doing so, the same things that would activate the powers on the light side would be what would shut off the powers on the dark side. So if you had, for instance, the green power coin or the white power coin, or the red Zeo crystal, or the black Dino Thunder crystal, and use those on the bracelets themselves, you could detach them and separate that power. Also, in doing so, that red Zeo or that red turbo key that's in the bracelet right now is fully operational and has full access to the morphing grid on the light side at this point. The bracelet is completely inert.
I'm going to tape the bracelet out. All right. So the things that turn them on are their kill switches now. They essentially act as a buffer for the dark energy. As soon as they activate, it deactivates the dark energy. Also, this is inert. It's fully active back into the morphing grid, but it's inert on the dark part of things.
Does that mean that we can use those again? That you could give your girlfriend some powers again?
Hey, God?
Not with relics. Relics are dedicated, like the Green Dragon Sword and things of that nature.
Unless she happened to be Tommy, no. They're a dedicated device. The only person I
Fair
can think
enough.
of that maybe, if a shot in the dark, maybe would be Frankie. But even then, these are dedicated things.
Cool. At least we have one answer, the answer to one question. Can we trace the other bracelets based on like the frequency of this one, or it being inert removes that ability?
You could literally look for the inverted power signature of those relics, and that would tell you where the bracelets are.
Give me 1 sec, and I'm going to try to do that.
Give me a morphing grid tech.
I love these.
I'm assisting again if I needed to qualify that.
18.
18. You are able to currently, because the green power coin was just recently within the power chamber, because somebody turned it into a pop socket on the back of their phone, you actively know that wavelength, and you can trace that one. The
All right.
others, you would have to go and get the red Zeo crystal, the black Dino Thunder crystal, the white Ranger power coin to track those.
Well, I can at least find where the green one goes. Click and shift, figure that part out.
It's in Peter's house.
Oh no.
That's not good. Do we need to like hire security for Frankie and Peter? It seems like their
Please,
personal
Peter.
locations get broken into on a
Just
regular
gonna
basis.
call to the back. Just, hey, Peter.
Yeah, guys, something else happened.
Oh, something else happened over here too.
Oh fuck! I'll make
was
my
you-
way. I'll make my way over to them.
So how?
Nothing happened in here.
So how like super comfortable are you with like evil being involved with you?
I mean, you saw. Well, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. So turns out, my mom time traveled when I was 8 years old to become the original Red ArcaKnight. Yeah. So, and apparently she's not dead. I don't know where she is though. But that she left me this key, and that key goes to that bookshelf. Behind that bookshelf, remember how we were like, oh, we need ink? Well, there's ink back there. So then Cinder and I had an idea that, you know, that form that I had that I nearly killed you with, Dior? Well, apparently I could rewrite the form in my book with that ink so that we could use that form to fuck up the bad guys. So
You're
I was going
saying-
to pitch that idea to y'all.
Right.
You're
All
saying
of
that
this
you
is
have spell ink. And I've actually been doing a deep dive in how to write spells and understand all of this and everything. And if we work together, we can probably create forms that are even greater than the one that you experienced when you were taken over by that. Like, if
Right.
all of us put our minds together and craft a spell for all of us to be a part of, can you imagine what we can do? We can
This is
save
all-
everyone
This is
without
all-
having to hurt them.
This is all super awesome good news. Peter, I'm pretty certain that your dad has the green one.
So you see, like, Peter's eye just starts twitching just a little bit.
Yeah, we need to get to your house.
Where's that fucking cat?
There's
One problem
I-
at a time. And I immediately teleport to Peter's house.
Yeah,
does-
I'm gone. I'm gone. When I'm like, where's that fucking cat? I'm gone.
Does anybody tell Frankie?
I'm going to go into communication for Frankie and just Frankie, hey, the green one? That's at Peter's house, and we're assuming it's attached to Peter's dad.
You go to contact Frankie.
Oh fuck.
There is no connection to the morphing grid to Frankie.
Phone text. Frankie, green one, Peter's dad. Also, how are you? Not good at phone communication still. Smiley face, send.
And for our last scene before we call it for the night, as Frankie moved through Professor Cranston's home to try and find where he had gone, what he had done, what it was leading him to. Your connection to Rowan's been wavering, as a lot of his energy was dedicated towards bringing the Dragon Zord back, to try and gain some semblance of and control over it as well. For the first time in a few days, you hear Rowan yell out to you to watch out. It's in that moment that you feel a dark energy push through your back, through your stomach, where you see a lance, familiar lance, the dread hollow Hesius, plunged through your stomach. You see the green spectrum energy being drained out of you as Hesius leans down behind your head. I'll be taking my brother. Find another power to call your own. Before drawing the lance out. As Frankie, you have lost the green ArcaKnight Ranger Spectrum. And that's where we will end for tonight. Thank you all for joining us here on ArcaKnights, a Power Rangers actual play series. We're gonna go around to our cast, have them tell you where you could find them on the internet. We're gonna do it a little fast because one of us does have to leave and go do adult things. And I know I've got to get a whole tongue lashing and explanation for this entire situation once we get off a stream. So
At least
Brandon.
tongue lashings feel good.
Oh my god, a lot has happened tonight. I am very upset. We'll have that conversation afterwards. But for everyone else, I am Brandon O'Brien. My pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I am a poet, writer, and game designer from Trinidad and Tobago. You can find me on almost every social media at The Rising Tides, but I'd much prefer you went to my website, which is also my newsletter, at brandonO'Brien.xyz. I am going to be at Big Bad Con in late September, so if you want to see some of the games that I'm working on, including a playtest of Hero Revolution, my Kamen Rider inspired, mostly Forged in the Dark RPG. I will be running a playtest of that at Big Bad Con, and there are still spaces open if you want to sign up. So definitely check that out. And yeah, that's me.
Alec.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alec the Bard, professional DM, TTRPG content creator, professional ballroom dancer, what have you. You can find me everywhere under Alec the Bard, and I'm real mad. Sit down.
Javante.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Javante, a resident TTRPG goblin. Pronouns are he, him. You can find me on Twitter at Javante, JHEV as in Victor, AUNTE. Stuff that I'm doing, you can catch me next Wednesday, where I'll be playing as the Dungeon Master in our Dante's Inferno game, where our crew just got into the 5th circle, and I can't wait to terrorize them. I also finally get to announce this, because it's finally in the point that I can actually say what it is. I have been steadily working on a full 5e OSR module that is based around African myths, legends, and folklore, called Sun and Moon Olorisha, and it is steadily coming together. It will be probably ready to play test within the end of this year, which I'm so excited about. It's been a passion project. It has also included some elements from my mom's old D&D games, so there's a lot of stuff that's been rolled in. I can't wait for you all to see how it turns out at the end.
Hell yeah. Krimsin.
Hey y'all, up in Krimsin Galaxy again. That is Krimsin, because I'm not me without a little bit of sin. My pronouns are they, them, she, and they. Today I was playing Gina, your Yellow Ranger, and honestly, I'll keep it short and sweet this week. Come check me out next Monday over on twitch.tv/CasperDNBGhost. And yeah, we're gonna be playing some Monster of the Week, and it's a super fun series, so come check that out.
Pluto.
Hey everyone, I'm Pluto, a non-binary queer game master and streamer on a quest to run every game in the known universe. Next big thing for me tomorrow night on TIO at 10 p.m. Eastern will be the season finale of Dresden Files Accelerator game, Just in Time Dresden's Fate. It's going to be a little bit of a longer episode. We got a lot to get through at this finale. It's going to be wild. And then next week on my channel on Monday, the all non-binary Pathfinder charity game for the Trans Empowerment Project returns Gods Among Mortals. It's been a month break, so we're ready to jump back in. I did leave them with an enemy locked in a small laboratory before we cut off, so I'm sure they're all anxious to get back to that. So tune into that at twitch.tv/BlueCleric at 9 p.m. Eastern on Monday. That's all for me.
And I have been your grid master. I am ArcaKnight Court. You can find me all over the internet at ArcaKnight Court. I am a TTRPG writer, content creator, and professional DM. I am so glad to have you all here for this episode, and I can't wait for you all to join us again next month on the 11th. And that will be our next episode. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us. And remember, if it's Monday, it's morphin' time. Have a good one.